Calaroga Shark Media.
My friends, Matt Rife has flown too close to the sun and is being canceled. Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. So much going on all of a sudden that I had to rip up today's script and entirely redo it. Let's start with the Baltimore Banner. Their headline, Matt Rife's Netflix special takes aim at Baltimore and utterly misses. Oh, this is the least of Matt Rife's problems. But let's start. They wrote, oh, look, a joke about Baltimore. How groundbreaking. In the special, Rife, who is perhaps best known for appearing in 16 episodes of Wild and Out, we'll get to that as well, enters Washington, D.C.'s Constitution Hall to 50 Cent's Many Men track. He says, this is so cool, man. I wish my grandpa could see this man. I always wanted to bring him here to visit. He knew how much I loved D.C., and he loved Maryland. It was like his favorite state. The crowd cheers. And he says, which no, is a valid response unless you've been to Baltimore because, dude, what the F is going on in Baltimore? Dude, bro, Maryland as a state cannot pick a tone. Dog, just pick one. It's so beautiful and so ratchet for no reason. Can y'all just pick a tone, man? All of Maryland. Y'all will drive down to the beach with your top down and then go to Baltimore and lock all your doors. No middle ground ever, man. Okay, so now the Maryland people are upset. But wait, here we go. Matt says, I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who seats you at the restaurant had a black eye, a full black eye, and it wasn't like what happened. It was pretty obvious what happened, and we couldn't get over the fact that we were like, this is the face of the company? This is who you have greeting people? And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, you know? And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye. The audience groans. He gets some laughs. Rife says he was just testing the waters, seeing if you're all going to be fun or not. Just wanted to see. I figured we start the show with domestic violence. The rest of the show should be pretty smooth sailing after that. And now all the headlines that popped up Tuesday kind of midday. Viral comedian Matt Rife is getting canceled by fans after making an appalling joke that left people sickened during his new Netflix special. TikTok creator Katie amassed over 200,000 views in a matter of hours after sharing that she decided to watch Rife's special because she'd seen clips of him online and found him funny, but she had to stop watching after she heard his first joke. Katie said, if that man thinks the opening joke is funny, I'm sure I'm not the first woman he has disappointed in less than 3 minutes. Creator Kira called out the joke and said, is this what he means by he made this for men? You want to make fun of domestic violence with men? One woman wrote that his pretty privilege shouldn't be enough to excuse his jokes. I'm genuinely trying to figure out how this can be spun as funny, like he's victim blaming. Then the men chimed in. One dude wrote, Matt Rife gets a lot of hate because his audience can't take a joke. Another said, it's just a dark joke. I could see so many comics getting away with it. Another said people need to relax and accept that this is comedy. Another praised Rife as a good comedian that just isn't for everyone. But wait, there's more. Matt Rife decided to apologize. You ready? Matt posted an Instagram story and he said, if you're offended by a joke I've told, here's a link to my official apology. If you click the link, it takes you to a place to purchase special needs helmets. I clicked the link and it says special needs helmets are lightweight, soft, durable, and well ventilated and offer a unique, comfortable fit plus extra protection and convenience to the client. These are real products. I'm in no way trying to make light of that. Just telling you what happens when you click the link. We're in full-on backlash mode. One of the articles says, reviews have deemed natural selection as underwhelming thanks to the recycled use of penis jokes and other mundane attempts to incite laughter. 21% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. One user said, of course, the joke Matt Rife told about domestic violence was set in Baltimore because it's ratchet. A few hours later, Rife returned to Instagram stories and wrote, we on the naughty list. He captioned a new image with a winky smile emoji. The link was labeled, this one's real this time, with a crying, laughing emoji. I'll keep an eye on this one. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so tomorrow's episode will be somewhat generic. You can understand why. I'm going to talk about Adam Sandler's Thanksgiving song. But as this heats up, I'll stay on it. If you're a relatively new listener, this show does not take a day off. I'll be here every day. But wait, there's more. From Pink Vala, they write, Matt Rife's earlier contact with Zendaya in 2017 has resurfaced online in the aftermath of the new controversy. People have dusted off a clip that has 3 million views on YouTube. In it, there's a game in which Matt Rife and Zendaya take part. Rife delivers a series of jokes designed to make Zendaya puke out her water. Rife introduces himself as the host, while kneeling down by Nick Cannon's chair before taking a different approach with Zendaya. He says, look, you're mixed. I want to be black. Let's make a lifestyle movie. Spit that water out so I can get your number. Zendaya did not laugh at the line. Her castmates were irritated by his decision to grip her chin. One cast member said, please keep your hands off her, Matt. At that time, Rife shared a selfie with Zendaya on Instagram just before the program aired that said, watch me get it in Zendaya's personal space tonight on Wild and Out. Another controversy. A comedian has left the internet divided after his Matthew Perry joke. This from Unilad. This is Hans Kim. You either know exactly who this is or you've never heard of Hans Kim. There is a podcast called Kill Tony. Currently records at Joe Rogan's Austin Club. On Kill Tony, amateurs get up and do 1 minute of comedy. Hans Kim is a regular on that show. He broke out of the audience, started getting regular gigs, and they almost always bring him up. I haven't listened to Kill Tony about a month or two, but Hans is a regular on the show. Funny enough, but, I'd call him an amateur. Maybe he's a pro now, but, he's not somebody who's been doing this for 30 years. Hans Kim posted a clip of his set on TikTok. In the set, he says, "Sad to hear that the great Matthew Perry died alone in a hot tub. For a guy on a show called Friends, he could have used a couple." The audience laughed, a couple groans from the audience. Social media users, one said too soon, another said Hans Kim is a savage. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on that one. This should have been the lead story. David Letterman returned to the Ed Sullivan Theater on Monday night for the first time in 8 years. Stephen Colbert said, "My guest tonight certainly needs no introduction." Crowd went nuts. Letterman said, "I will say this is the most enthusiastic audience I've been near since the night I announced I was quitting." Colbert asked Letterman if he missed anything. Letterman said, "Everything. Mostly it's fun. Very few things in life provide the opportunity, and I can't speak for you on this topic, but for me, if you muck one up, 24 hours later, you get to try again. That's a pretty good device." They talked about their meeting in 2015. Colbert was picking Letterman's brain on the show. Letterman said Colbert makes the job look easy. Colbert said, "I'll pass that on to the entire staff, but you and I both know it's really the host." That's a good joke. Apparently, Letterman's one regret is that he never had the desk on the other side of the stage. But you said you wanted to try it over here because Johnny had his desk on this side of the stage. Letterman, that's right. Johnny's configuration was exactly as yours is. Thinking about it, who gives a god darn? Towards the end of the conversation, Letterman said he spends a lot of time Googling symptoms. They also gave a small shout out to Dana Carvey, whose son Dex passed away last week. Letterman shared how he was key to bringing The National on to perform during his return to the Ed Sullivan Theater, noting his request was able to get the band to step away from their tour to appear on the show was something he had only gotten one other band to do, and that band was the Foo Fighters. Letterman said the people who booked these acts were great producers and in touch with a wide variety of music, and it was a tremendous gift. When you don't have that in your life, you miss it. At the end of the interview, Letterman asked if he could take a photo behind the old desk, and Colbert said sure and snapped a selfie of the two. Letterman said, "By the way, in my day, I would have never let this happen." The Hollywood Reporter watched Leo, the exciting new Adam Sandler lizard movie. They said it's solid. The animation work in Leo is solid, and the music is more winking theatrically than memorable rhymes. It's the narrative and Sandler's comedic timing that'll keep you watching. The actor's joined by his daughters here, of course, because they are some of the best voice actors in the business, Sadie Sandler and Sunny Sandler. They play Jada and Summer. Two girls on opposite sides of the popularity spectrum who share more than they realize. Wayne Brady was involved in a two-vehicle crash on Sunday night and allegedly involved in an altercation after the wreck. According to the LA County Sheriff's Department, Wayne Brady, one of two parties involved in the collision on the PCH. According to People, Wayne and the other driver allegedly had a physical confrontation after they argued. The incident allegedly occurred after the two drivers pulled over to exchange information. Authorities were unable to confirm whether a fight occurred. FX announced a new series. It's called English Teacher, created by and starring Brian Jordan Alvarez. English Teacher follows a high school teacher in Austin who's trying to balance the competing demands of the students and their parents in a world where the rules seem to change every day. I'm bringing this up because it features comedian Sean Patton, who I like a lot. No word on a date yet. Hollywood just got back, right? The Hollywood Reporter spoke to the new voices of Rick and Morty. They are Ian Cardoni, he's Rick, and Harry Belden is Morty. Harry Belden, who is Morty, said, "It's been super surreal waking up every day. For the first month after landing the role, I genuinely kept asking my girlfriend if it had really happened, if I was indeed the new Morty." So to keep having that realization was like, yeah, this is real. You're playing a character you've watched and loved for years and been a huge fan of. It's indescribable and brings such joy. Belden, again, he's Morty, said, "I emailed my agent and said, if you get any requests for this Rick and Morty thing, I do a decent Rick and Morty, so I'd love to be considered and send them my stuff. Like most fans, I had done impressions of Rick and Morty for fun with my friends. Over time, I guess I was doing it enough that it turned into something I thought I could do." Cardoni, who voices Rick, said, "Same. I already had an impression reel that I'd given my managers that included Rick and Morty voices, but as Harry mentioned, it was like, wow, this could be a big opportunity." So the Hollywood Reporter was like, wait. They were asked about the criticism of the new voices. My take, the Rick is pretty good. He just doesn't stammer as much as he used to. Rick used to stammer. He would stammer, Morty. He would go back and he'd repeat a sentence, Morty, and it'd start over. He doesn't seem to do that anymore. The Morty is a little deeper. I guess we could say Morty has aged a little. It's fine. Once you stop thinking about it, it is fine. Cardoni, who plays Rick, has been avoiding reading the criticism. He said, I avoid going down any rabbit holes online. As a fan, I know the show touches people worldwide and the characters mean a lot to the fans. I share that love of the show and care of the character. Wanting to be my best Rick is with me every time I record. Belden says he's not allowed to look at the online comments. My girlfriend won't let me. I completely understand people being nervous. Change is scary, especially with something so iconic that many people love, but nobody's going to be a harsher critic than yourself. They were asked the toughest aspect to get right. Cardoni, as Rick, says, I'm sure you mean vocally, but more than the voice itself, it's doing justice to the writing we're given. Everything in the script is so deliberate and intentional. We're not always privy to where the story's going to go, but there's a story that we're responsible for telling, and each time I record, that's the chief responsibility in my mind. But vocally, during an early session, I got the note that I needed to be more of a a-hole than the other characters. Having to open up that side of myself to access those parts of me that live in Rick and vice versa was my big challenge. Belden, who was Morty, said, it's a challenge to remind myself, you might want to do it this one way, but let's make sure we explore the other possibilities. For me, vocally, it was the F word. I had a little bit of vocal dip going lower on the U, so I spent dozens of hours and dropped thousands of F-bombs, drilling the F word over and over and over again. That's your comedy news for today. If you're looking for me, I'll be at trivia night. Hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. I'll be here tomorrow with a new episode. See you then.